Hello, hello. How do I sound?
You sound good. Good,
Thanks.
mate. Blood, as we'd say, you sound bloody good, mate.
I was about to give it a shot.
You need to just be confident.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was gun shy at that point.
Wait a sec, I just got to sync these up together. You don't have to do that, do you?
What was that?
So, when I put this into post-production, I'm just going to turn my gain down a bit.
Hello.
Yeah,
All
give me a
right.
couple of tests on yours.
Hello, 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 hello.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's me.
I'd like to have us both at about the same gain. I can always fuck around with that if we need to. If you have the gains up too much, I find just breathing starts to come in the mic and it sounds shit out.
Yeah. Then it becomes ASMR.
Yeah.
I've definitely had that happen, especially like,
Try angling.
dude,
So
I've been trying to lift this
Yeah, you
shit
gotta-
up for
you
the
gotta-
longest time, and then it look.
You got to tighten it. Do you need someone strong to do it or? Yeah, body.
I have the weakest grip. Like, God, I don't.
Fucking body triangle strong.
Dude, I can't. Oh, dude, that was a good war you had with like Palestine. That was pretty ill. Take care, guys. Good
See you,
training
boys.
today. All right,
We're about to.
I love you,
Not that professional.
Elon. I love you. Peace.
Make sure you guys follow us on iTunes.
Do it. What is it? What's the name of it?
The Heat Locker.
Hate Locker.
Speaking of that, welcome to the latest episode of the Heat Locker. We may as well start now.
Yeah.
See, I'm not like you guys. I haven't got a cool intro sound. I like how you do that.
Oh, you don't need one, dude.
Man, it
Yeah.
sounds good. So what I did, so to give you a bit of background, before we when we started, the idea was to do the podcast in the sauna.
Mm-hmm.
So we go in the sauna. Initially, we'd have the sauna on,
Yeah.
and it made sense for us that are in the sauna, but it was too hot for guests had come on.
And they'd be like, "This is retarded."
They're fucking dying after like 20 minutes. So the conversation burns out when they're like Jason Rouse just.
Can we go outside?
Yeah. So it just fucked. And then the gear, like, it's too hot for the gear. So then we'd like do it in the sauna, but we wouldn't have the sauna on. And then
That's
now,
kind of weird.
and then we're kind of just hanging out in the sauna. Yeah. So anyway, so the heat locker is the
In towels.
yeah. So the premise is the heat locker, but now it's it's stuck with the name, but it's
Yeah.
kind of like not the heat locker anymore.
Have you seen the movie The Heat Locker?
No, it's the hurt locker.
The Hurt Locker?
Yeah, that's the movie.
Oh, shit.
That's
yeah.
why it's kind of like a play on the.
Yeah. Now I get it.
Actually, I just realized I'm gonna unveil.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
This is the most comfortable shirt I've ever made. Like, I'm very excited about these. Yeah.
So, guys, today we've got. I call him Fernando, but it's actually Fabian. Welcome, Fabian.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me
Fabian,
on.
I don't know your surname.
Ramirez.
Of course, it's Ramirez.
Of course. You could have guessed it. If I gave you 3 tries, you probably would have guessed it.
Of course it is. Or Rodriguez. I might have said like Rodriguez.
I would have been like, that's close enough. You're fine there.
So it's Fernando Rodriguez.
It's
No,
my
it's
alter
Fabian.
ego. That's
Fabian.
when I go into
I've got
Colombia.
a running joke with Fabian where I call him Fernando. Last time I came out, I meet so many people when I come out, and I kind of just attach names to them, even if it's not their real name.
Yeah.
So it's a little disrespectful, actually, because I've been saying this beautiful gentleman's Mexican, but he's actually not Mexican. He's a different type of Mexican. Apparently, I thought everything south of Texas was Mexico.
No.
but apparently not.
It's different Mexicos.
Mm.
So I'm from Colombia and Ecuador. There's actually a lot of Ecuadorian grapplers coming up now. Calstein, Roberto Jimenez. Who's the guy who just won? He just won a whole bunch of shit too. Alta or something. I forgot his name, but he just won like worlds.
Okay.
I don't know. Johnny Tama.
Yeah. I don't
Johnny
know.
Atama. No. Do you keep up with IBJJF?
I hate it.
Yeah.
I like deliberately, if it comes up on my flow grappling, I like flick past as fast as I
Really?
can. Yeah.
So you're more interested in like submission grappling?
100%.
Is that what you focus on in your school?
Yeah.
Just do you guys even put the fucking gi on?
It's funny, like each year we kind of like cut another gi class out.
No way.
So like in the beginning, we were 50-50. So most schools, predominantly gi,
Yeah.
and then like a little bit of no gi scattered in on like the weekend. It's like, oh, here's a little surprise for you. There's the no gi. And I've always enjoyed no gi since I started. And at my coach's school, it was like all gi, especially I had 2 black belts, and one of them was like, you must wear the gi. It's like, if you don't wear the gi, you're rubbish. And
Yeah.
and then we kind of realized, wait a sec, if you want to be good at no gi, you You got to do no-gi.
Yeah, you have
There's
to.
no these bull, because like him and my coach, my old coach, we would argue with each other. Like I was a blue belt, and he's like, he used to get the shits with me arguing with him, and he'd be like, all the world champions, all the people that win ADCC, they're the gi guys. Now, the thing back then was the best grapplers were the gi guys. They just take it off. They were still the better than the other guys. But now there's like all the specialists like Gordon and really like everyone that trains out of all these
just revolutionized
around
it.
here.
Yeah.
So now it's like you can't go in it if you want to be good at no-gi. It's a different thing. So our schedule now is probably like, I don't know, like 70% no-gi, 30%. Like not like 10th Planet yet. Like that's
they completely gave up.
Yeah, not like that. But all the fundamental class. So we got a fundamentals program.
Yeah.
And it's the best thing we ever did, because all the beginners now have a spot where they feel comfortable to come in at. Whereas if you chuck them in,
you can't.
They just don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Even if they can like survive, it's just not right.
It's too much pressure.
It's too much, and you're like, okay, we're gonna wrestle. And they're like, what the fuck's wrestling? I don't even know what I'm doing.
So that's what they do at Serra's too. They force you to wear the gi until you have 4 stripes.
Yeah.
And then I think that was one of the best things for my jiu-jitsu, because I fell in love with the gi. I fell in love with jiu-jitsu at the time. Like, I didn't care whether or not I was fucking doing gi or no gi. So, I mean, I feel like it helps you a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important for your early developmental of jiu-jitsu. It's kind of weird because it puts you in that uniform aspect too, where everyone's wearing the uniform. Like, you feel like some sort of camaraderie. I came up with my white belt friends. Like, we're all in the advanced side of the class together. Like, it's cool to see like different graduating classes in our academy. We always have people coming in and out, but like, each like year, each season, there's just a different graduating class of like white belts who made it through the ringer.
That's cool.
It's really cool to see. They always have to walk by us in order to get to the lockers. So, they walk by, they turn their heads, and of course we notice them, and we're like,
you look down on, because we look down on white belts.
You look down on white belts.
Yeah, we treat them as like second class citizens.
No, we just, it's like the regular hazing. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. I love white belts, dude. They're the best.
I don't remember their name till they become a blue belt.
That's right. And then they leave.
Yeah. Fuck, don't get me started on that. So today where are we at? We're at Renzo Gracie Fight Academy.
Yep.
Renzo Gracie Fight Academy in Brooklyn. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and we're actually really lucky they've let us just set up here.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, the Renzo Association is so big that like they treat you like family wherever you go.
Yeah. So
like it was a real simple thing for me to just ask, like, hey, do you mind if we shoot a podcast in here or something? So like, Matt Serra, I'm a purple belt under Matt Serra, and he's, I believe, Renzo's first American black belt. And they have like a special bond because of that. So Matt is in association under Renzo's, but Matt has his name on the, it's not like Renzo Gracie Rockland or Renzo Gracie. Like, even though he's associated with Renzo, it's still Serra BJJ. So we still get treated like family. It's like, it's
awesome. You get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Like, I didn't know about martial arts until I started jiu-jitsu at all.
Yeah.
So like, to be put into, luckily, like I feel like one of the best teams in the world, like, to just have luckily walked in and suddenly I'm here. I don't have to like search for any, like, too far for any sort of knowledge. Like, I'm so lucky, man.
Your access to information is phenomenal. Like, I'm here currently because I've caught a plane from the other side of the world. I'm doing privates with Jason over the internet just to gather that information, and you've just got it falling in your lap. That's why I was saying to like appreciate. Then I'm sure you do as well.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like one of those things. Like you have a hot girlfriend, but you don't appreciate her until you have like an ugly girlfriend.
Yes. You don't know what you've got till it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I try to keep reminding myself. Because, like, it's crazy. Like, if I really just run down, like, just the training partners and the training environments that I'm exposed to at such a, like, at a beginning level, it makes me think that this is what jiu-jitsu should be. This is normal jiu-jitsu. Like, but there's
That's
people.
actually probably not.
Yeah, there's people like you, people who come all around the world, come into the room and get smoked with, like, technique they've never seen before. And they're like, what the
take it
fuck
easy,
is
buddy.
going
Smoke.
on? Yeah, dude, like, it's like, they become spectators to your technique. Like, you're doing so much to them that they can't help but just watch. and they're like, what is going on? Oh, like this is jujitsu now. Like it's
a different animal.
Yeah, it's fun. It becomes fun because you see like, okay, the technical aspect is what's really important about this. Like my iteration of technique is like what's like really important. How I do it with my body. Like this is what jujitsu is about. It's not like just going in and like pohadaing and fucking like fighting hard out of every position and stuff like that. Like there's a more technical aspect that makes it so deep. It's so fun.
Oh, it's
like,
beautiful,
yeah.
and that's why I attached myself to it. The first time I came to New York, I hadn't had any background other than just being interested in the way John Danaher taught and seeing his students compete and just being like, okay, this is the information I need. But when that first day at Henzo's, I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Really?
I went with like Nick Ronan, right? Nick Ronan was a purple belt.
Oh my God.
Nick's like a skinny white kid. He's like probably my weight, but you know, it doesn't look intimidating.
Yeah.
Nick like pumped me. I went with Jason Rao and I got absolutely murdered. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm a black belt and I'm a okay, reasonable black belt. At the time, now I class myself as being like, you know, a good black belt. But at the time I was like, you know, I'm not terrible.
Yeah.
Just getting like murdered by these dudes. And it was just a different thing. It was like on the back, it was a different thing. On the legs. And if you don't know, you're fucked. You're not just going to work it out. Yeah. You're not going to just scramble hard and maybe it just won't happen. You're going to get submitted with something.
Dude, it's
Beautiful.
Insane. It's
so
insane.
Good.
And like, that's a story you hear over and over and over again. And now that the internet's out and people, like, word is getting out, like, it's even more where there's so many visitors that come into Henzo's and just, like, they get their eyes open. Like, a lot of people just, they get humbled. And it's scary for some people. Some people don't come back.
Yeah.
So, like, it's like being a white belt all over again. Like, you just have to accept, like, oh my God, like, I'm going to get smoked, but, like, at what cost? Let me make this worth it. Like, let me learn something from this.
Well, that's hard. That's pretty hard for some higher belts because they've always, especially if they've come from their own academy or come from somewhere they were the big dog, maybe in the gi, and maybe like against other guys doing the same sort of jiu-jitsu as them, they actually, you know, good. They can like pass the gun or whatever. You go in there without the gi and
it's
guys just get murdered, and it's so cool.
It's a different thing.
So like, you know, it's phenomenal. But I didn't intro you fully. So you're also, we were supposed to have your partner in crime. We were supposed to have Sebastian here.
Yeah.
These two boys run. So just so everyone's aware, we're also filming this, so it'll be on YouTube. So there'll be a version on YouTube, and then there'll be the version on iTunes. So there'll be both, because a lot of the youngins like the YouTube nowadays.
The YouTube.
the YouTube. So Fabian and Sebastian have got fourth stringers.
Yeah.
You need to tell me, because I don't even, like, I understand,
you don't
like,
know what it
if
is?
you're like a second stringer, it means you're like, oh, it's like not the A team. It's like, is it like the fourth stringers like this are the fucking losers?
The whole idea was like in sports, like you have the first stringers, like the first string squad who goes out there, they play the game, and the second string, like the second string quarterback or something like that, like they'll take over if the guy needs a break. And then you have the third string, like the B team, you know? And then like we're like the fourth stringers. Like we train with the best, we're in the same room as the best, and maybe we'll get to like third string, second string eventually, but like we're trying our hardest, like with some of the best in the world. We're in the same room as them. This is actually where I was born, right here, because dude, like Eddie Cummings used to teach over here. Yeah. Before it was Calistine, it was Eddie Cummings, and it was me, Eddie, Pags, like Sebastian, Quinn. It was a lot of people, Rao, and
that's a good crew.
Dude, Octavia, it was nuts, and we would just get murdered every day, like murdered, and we'd keep showing up, and we'd get like so much better. But like it was just so hard to do anything against the first stringers. Like they're fucking us up, and we're like, we don't care, dude. We're the fourth string. Like we don't care if we're the fourth string grapplers. Like we're gonna come here every fucking day, dude. Like, and that mentality stuck with us. What was that?
See,
are you trying to brainwash me?
Yeah, I heard that beep too. I'm hoping is that my battery dying?
The battery.
The battery's flashing. So you know what?
Oh no.
Oh no. We need to plug this into power.
How do you plug it in?
I've never done it on battery before.
That was like all of 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's just 4 AA batteries. So I was wondering, I was interested. That's not a good sign.
4 AA.
That's
it's
not a
either
good
gonna
sign.
blow up. Or
I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get an extension lead, and I'm
or
gonna have to.
can we just do it next to fucking?
We could do it next to a power lab, but
Yeah.
if we can just if they can just show me with the vacuum is, I can get the extension lead, and then we can.
Oh, okay. I'll
You know what I
ask
mean?
her.
Okay, what we're gonna do, guys? We'll
be right
stop
back.
talking, and we'll be right back, and we're gonna fix this, and we'll come back to you. Don't go anywhere.
Oh my God, there's Nico. Hold on. All right.
All right.
You wanted me to clap with you?
No, mate. That's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
That'll be cut out. They won't be in. Now you've told them about the claps. They're gonna wonder about the claps.
Tell them about the clap, dude.
So
Everyone has to learn about the clap at a certain
So
age.
we're gonna sync up the video and the audio. So what we do is we clap, and when I'm doing this post production in the editing, there'll be some really sharp waves.
Oh, that
and
way
then-
it's easier to see.
So I link up the audio from the video to the audio in those waves,
Mm-hmm.
and then it gets the dubbing right. Otherwise, it's like an old like Japanese movie where like they talk and then the words come out, and it's shit house.
That would be cooler.
So guys, we had power issues. I didn't know. I've never run this stuff on battery before. So it's like 4 AA batteries.
Yeah.
And they didn't last very long. Like I don't know.
It was like 10 minutes.
Yeah, not
Were
very
they new
long, so-
batteries or something?
Well, yeah, I think so. But look,
No.
they didn't come out of the packet. They were at home, so maybe the kids had them in
Oh,
something.
yeah,
Who knows?
yeah. That makes sense.
I've just put 4 new ones. Also, the manager of the academy just came over and he said the kids' class starts at 4. So at 4
Okay.
o'clock, this place is going to get crazy. So we'll just do a bit of a shorter one today.
Yeah.
I don't know where we got to before we got rudely interrupted by the batteries. We're talking
think,
about 4 stringers.
I think, first string, fourth string.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the fourth string grapplers. And then, it started off as a podcast. We have like a loyal group of like just our moms who listen. So they listen to every episode. No, but like it's cool because it's so local. So like
The shit you talk about and your
yeah.
mom listens. Does she really?
No, she doesn't really
Okay.
listen.
That's
But
very good.
it's like we're so local. We're like in the New York like grappling scene that
Mm.
like all our friends who listen like know we're actually training out here. Like a lot of it was like I would try to listen to these podcasts and man, like it's people who don't compete. People who have like I would say an outside view of competition jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's like the only other one that I followed and I was really into was the Matt Burn podcast, but that's new. The one with Keenan and Hinger. So I just saw, we saw that there was a big lack of that.
There was a hole in the market.
There was a hole in the market.
Right, yeah.
There's like young fucking competitors who are like trying to make it right now and like are in the thick of it. Like, cause this is, I would say New York is one of the hotbeds for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
right
we were
now.
talking about this the other
Yeah.
night. I mean, 100% that is, yeah.
So
Especially for submission grappling.
yeah, for submission grappling in particular.
Yeah.
So I think that, even gi, because we got fucking unity over here.
Yeah, true.
So
That's true.
I think that like, I think it has something to do with the area, like just the lifestyle we live in. New York is always go and the winter is pretty harsh. So like, I'm not gonna be dicking around outside. I'm gonna go from my car to the gym and do that every fucking day because what else is there to do? Like, sure, I could like go party. Like, sure, like there's a crazy party scene out here in New York. You'll always find something to do in whatever subculture you wanna
it's
get
madness.
involved in. Yeah, we have every single subculture available here. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's just insane. Like, you go to Williamsburg, all the women have more armpit hair than you do, and so like it's just different cultures. We're all mushed up together, and I'm lucky enough to have like one of the greatest grappling subcultures alive and well over here.
I wonder if it's because of just how many people are in this small area, because there's a lot of people packed into this joint. Like,
Heaps of people.
heaps of people. So Fabian prides himself. He prides himself on his Australian accent. And as far as Americans are concerned, it's actually not bad. Americans suck at Australian accent. They can't do it.
Well, you suck at American accents.
Buddy. Hey.
Yeah, no, don't do it.
Hey. Buddy.
The viewership is gonna go down.
Buddy.
Forget about it.
Yo, forget about it.
Yeah.
Look, American accent's obnoxious anyway. So,
It's pretty bad.
Yeah,
You told my friend in the locker room, you're like, you're the most American person I've ever had. And then he's like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
What about how everybody here thinks I'm Lachlan Giles? So they think that Australia has one black belt. And
it's Lachlan.
If they see a black belt here, it must be Lachlan Giles.
Lachlan or Craig. But Craig is actually not. Like,
Craig's
if you're not wearing leopard print, they're not going to think
people know I'm
you're
not Craig. He's taller than me. He's bigger than me. He's better at jiu-jitsu than me.
Yeah. More hair.
Yeah, he's got everything going for him. So they're like, this guy's not Craig Jones, but
Lachlan
could be Lachlan Giles.
Actually, you know what's crazy? It's the hair too.
We've got the same haircut.
The raptor.
We've got like a receding hairline. I would like to say that I'm at least an inch taller than Lachlan Giles.
Are you?
At least. I'm a solid 5'11" when I wake up. Make sure you measure yourself. Like, if you're going to quote your height, it's always when you wake up.
Why?
Because during the day, your spine, the little fluid sacs between your vertebrae actually compress. So at the end of the day, you're shorter than you were at the beginning of the day.
Oh.
So if you're going to measure your height for like your Tinder profile or something, or Grindr, or like I don't judge, but whatever it is, take it in the morning. So does
that explain morning wood too?
That's the tip of the day. I don't know. If
the tip of the day. That's what I call my morning wood.
So I had an idea. I'm going to float it past you. I had an idea for the podcast, right? I thought it'd be cool if there was like something I did with each person that was like a game or something. And you know how you remember that old saying, tap, snap, or nap?
Oh my God, dude! I've actually heard this on another podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I thought, it's a bit cheesy.
Yes.
I haven't actually prepared one for you, but like I didn't even know if it would work, and it might be a bit cheesy, you know. And then you just name. It don't even have to be jiu-jitsu people; it could be anyone.
Okay.
But I don't have 3 people for you. But what do you think? You've already heard it on something else.
I've heard it on something else, and I like.
Did it fail?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I'm kind of just about like the natural flow of conversation. Usually on our podcast, like it just gets a little ridiculous. We start getting into like again like jiu-jitsu against the animals. That's a common theme.
Okay, on my Instagram a few months ago, I posed this to the guys I was in the room with, and then we couldn't, so I put it on my Instagram. Chimpanzee, right?
Yeah.
Chimpanzee. You get to start on his back with a body triangle, sunk under his neck.
Oh.
Okay. Could you strangle him before he pulls your dick off? You personally.
I think so. Wow, with a fully sunk rear naked
You're under the neck.
Dude. Yeah. I don't know. I've seen how big chimps are, but to be honest, like I have little legs, so I'm sure I could get my foot behind his thigh, and then he's gonna have a real fucking doozy to try to rip me off and like spin off, especially if I got my hands locked. Yeah.
So
I think I could do it.
So chimps are about 160 pounds, roughly.
But like 3 times stronger than humans.
Well, yeah, they're not
at that weight.
People think they're strong, but they're not very strong above their head. They actually can't even throw anything. So I feel like for him to reach his primary defensive hand back onto he
won't even know to.
Well, let's assume he's watched Danaher's DVDs.
Okay, then I'm fucked.
No, they're not strong above their shoulders is what I'm saying.
So you think like him reaching back?
Yes.
But he's probably going to like claw your face.
But have you tried this? Tell someone to try and claw your face. If you hide your head in your
that's
bicep,
what I was thinking, honestly.
Look, I think he goes out, and then I'm going to fuck him up once he's out.
Like and just wrist lock him and break both of his ankles. Where are you going now? You fucking
like
chimp.
Stand over
Yeah.
But I think if we start like facing each other, like like a seated guard.
Oh, I'm
he
fucked.
Just bites me straight on the dick. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm fucked. No, are you kidding me? He rips it off and like eats it. Yeah.
I don't know.
They do
could
that.
you heel hook him? Like they got these weird little kind of hand feet?
No. There's no jiu-jitsu you could do against him. He's too strong. He's
gonna bite.
He's like a roided up, like freak.
He's like a CrossFitter.
Yeah. Who like all of his muscles are in his jaw, so he'll just bite your dick off.
Anyway, so that's the animal one.
That's a good one. Yeah. You should keep that. You should keep that theme going in every single one, because you could actually see it. Because I feel like some people who will be like, "Yeah, that's fucking easy." You're like, "This guy got an ego on him." Like like me personally, maybe I got a little ego on me, but I'm like, I don't know, man. If I have a fucking rear naked,
I feel good about it.
Liked it.
Yeah,
our egos are crazy because I bet the chimp would fuck us up.
Look, I don't know.
He would like his little chimp hips and legs and stuff.
I don't know. I mean, they're jacked, but I think I could put him out. I think as long as he's got carotids in the same spot that humans do,
I think maybe he could get like his fangs into my arm, and then I would want to let go.
Yeah. I mean, he'd have to tuck. Maybe they don't have much of a chin. I haven't actually studied chimps enough to know, but
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know either. But
So, man, the training is so good here. Like, and also, what I was going to say to you, you've improved massively since last time I was here. Like,
Oh, really?
Your rate of progression's coming along really well. Yeah.
when was the last time you were here?
June, July.
Wait,
July.
like 2 years ago or a year?
Yeah, like 7 months ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, fuck.
June, July last year,
Really?
2019.
Dude, it's I think I'm well, I've always competed, but you know, it's like if these guys start hitting a stride, I hit a stride. And plus, I was in the ADCC camp. So anytime they're training for something fucking crazy, I'm right there. I'm right there with it. I'm doing 10-minute rounds. We're doing like first one to score wins and shit like that. Like, it's crazy. That's like the epitome of fourth stringers. You got these people training for the best tournaments in the world and stuff, and they need bodies. So who's gonna be there? Like, it sucks.
You're the chimpanzee.
I'm the test chimp
Yeah.
or whatever. So it's like, I think that's so common, and I think that's why the brand resonates with a lot of people. It's because essentially jiu-jitsu is like a team sport, but it's also not a team sport. Like, it's so, like, when you're out there by yourself. Like, sure, you have a coach there, like maybe keep your mind on track and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's all you. Like, once you're out on the mat, like, it's you against the other person.
It's a very interesting balance between an individual activity and a team activity, because there's individual activities like, let's say, marathon running, right?
Yeah.
Really, there's no way you could drag that into a team thing. Like, you could prepare, I don't know enough about it, but I assume you could probably prepare for a marathon by yourself.
Yeah.
You don't need a team to do that.
Yeah.
It might be nice to have other dudes that run with
Or
you.
like a coach or something. But like,
you could probably prepare by yourself. Same as like tennis, and you don't need a team, right? But jiu-jitsu, if you don't have a team, and if your team's not at a high level,
yeah,
you're not going to get good.
If they're not trying as hard, if they're not working as hard as you, that's the problem with. So one of my friends, he was saying that's the problem with his gym, where it's like we only have class once a day. Maybe it's
call his gym out.
I can't. But
it's not a Henzo gym.
You know, like they'll have like, you know, a class where all the good guys only come in once a day, like all the higher belts, so like they don't have like. All right, over here, like there's a fucking morning class you could take at Henzo's. There's an afternoon class. There's a night class.
There's always going to be a scattering of high-level guys.
Yeah, so like you'll always find some good rounds or like people to experiment on, because you need those blue belts to like work out your new techniques and stuff like that. So you'll always find bodies. So that's where other places are lacking. We have so many people and we have so many bodies, and like, in a jiu-jitsu class, you only get like 4 or 5 rounds, and some academies I've seen only do like 3 minutes. They don't do positional.
Yeah.
They don't so when are you going to have the time to experiment with all these new techniques that you're getting and make them stick? Because like, you can look at techniques all fucking day on YouTube or DVDs and stuff, but if you don't have other people to help you and like be there to bounce ideas off, or like actually live drill and stuff like that, like you're not going to get as far as you could if you had those dedicated people around you. And over here it's great. Like,
it's such a
abundance,
and there's not one correct formula. We talked about this the other day.
There's not.
And same with mixed martial arts, right? Because you look at there's a gym that's some random gym out in Ohio somewhere, and they'll have a world champion.
Yeah.
And you'll go, okay. So sometimes it just comes down to there was an athlete that was just going to be good. He was just going to be the man. You don't see it quite as much in jiu-jitsu, because I feel it doesn't rely on athleticism as much as like MMA. There can be guys with certain characteristics that just he can take a shot.
Yeah.
And he's got natural power and he's fit. There was all these natural things, and then someone showed him some stuff, and he like knocked out a bunch of guys. There's plenty of that happen. In jiu-jitsu, there's not many guys at the highest level. They're just kind of like getting by on just being kind of fast or
insanely flexible or something like that.
Like
I think that's
the
one that's more common. Yeah,
but you still got to know what's up. Like, you got to know.
So a good example, I think, of that is like Dante Leone, where he actually came to train with us for a bit, but like,
he's a beast, that kid. He's jacked.
I got to interview him, and so he came from Canada and then moved to like Ohio with like his team out there, and he just has a group of guys that he works out with every fucking day, you know, like where they all like he'll live with them sometimes and stuff, and it's like that grappler house. That grappler house is a real thing. That happens in some of the biggest teams all across the world. Like Marcelo had a grappler house where like Satava and a bunch of Brazilian guys all lived together. What do you call it? Atos has one. That one's like probably the most famous one. Like it had Hinger and everybody living in there. Lloyd Irving has one. We don't have one. I would love to if we fucking had one. But like it's common for like the Gracie Association to bring people over from Brazil who are talented in jiu-jitsu and let them live in the gym and stuff like that. Like that's what happened at Unity too. So like yeah, like
it's got to be. It all comes back to business and money. But like to run a fighter house, for instance, it's got to result in some money. Otherwise, unless you just got some crazy rich dude, you know.
Well, I mean, I think they're. So
you know,
the
what I mean?
culture,
there's got to be that return.
Yeah, but the culture of jiu-jitsu is also like I do for me, you do for you, and like we're a family, right? So like I think Brazilian culture in jiu-jitsu influences them to like really lend a hand to their competitors and be like, yo, listen, I'll help you with this house, with your housing and stuff, but you got to teach at my academy.
Yeah.
So that's the payback, and I feel like especially the Gracie Association does that for a lot of Brazilians, and they'll help them with their visas and stuff like that.
Maybe you got to start passing yourself off as Brazilian, man.
God, I'm pretty. Actually, I can do Portuguesa. Like I can do that too because like that's like the white belt thing to do. You just imitate.
You've got a talent. You've got a talent for accents. Just so everyone knows, I think I said it before, but at 4:00 the kids are going to come in and we're going to have to just wrap it. I don't know. I feel like
it's almost 4.
Yeah, like
so
as the kids once they come in,
yeah,
we'll just
and
if we just die all of a sudden, it means the batteries have gone again. So you know, so if I don't get a chance to wrap it up, thanks so much for our quick little podcast.
Yeah,
and we'll make sure that we do another one. But I'm going to come on the Fourth Stringers podcast. So
for sure.
Make sure you follow those guys. They're on iTunes. Fourth Stringers.
Yeah.
4TH.
Yeah.
Not four, not F.
It says it right on your fucking shirt.
Yeah, right there. I'm sponsored. They're now an international clothing brand.
Yeah, yeah. We got lucky where we started selling rash guards like locally in the gym and stuff, and everybody really liked the design. Now we have like people like Aljamain Sterling, like some really big UFC guys like that are just friends of ours because we train together. Like we have a crazy fucking mix at Serra's where it's like UFC MMA guys and the jiu-jitsu heavy sport jiu-jitsu guys. Cool. And we clash every fucking Tuesday and Thursday. I mean Tuesday and Friday. And it's like a movie, dude. I love that I got like bullied into playing guard. Like I became a guard player, you know?
Because the MMA guys, for those that don't know, the MMA guys got a different jiu-jitsu. It's like it's nearly what I call anti-jiu-jitsu. Not all of them, but a lot of them. It's like, I'm just going to make sure you can't do anything, and I'm going to stay on top. And if you try and come up, I'm going to come up too. Yes. And it's like, it's this different thing. Whereas we kind of like, just like, if you come up, I'm just going to flop on my back.
Yeah.
Like,
and start playing guard.
Yeah, because I don't care.
But you need it so much. So what it forces you to develop a guard where it's like really heavy on coming up with good grips and wrestling them down as well, and plus like as a training partner I want to be a realistic situation to them. I don't want them to just have to fucking deal with me inverting all the time and shit. Like I want to be a good training partner for them. I want them to get something out of this, so I will rely heavily on hip heists. Like from butterfly, I never stay in butterfly with them. I launch like 3 or 4 attacks, and then I come up, and then I try to wrestle fuck them down. And we're gonna have a wrestling match mid whatever, because I know that's what they need. That's what they need to work on. And in those MMA situations, the scrambles I feel like are where the submissions happen. Like you'll see somebody slap a triangle on real quick. So like with me doing my style is very like quick. So like I'll slap these things on them, and if their reactions aren't on point, like then they're that's what they need. I feel like. And
see, I'm an arsehole. See, I just play like full submission grappling, lay on my back, and invert on their legs, and
they'll get nothing. They'll get nothing out of that.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to get nothing. In the same way that they just like won't play jiu-jitsu with me, and I'll just like smash you with fucking elbows.
But I get that. I get that. You know. Like, dude, they get so fucking physical with me. Like, they will mush my face, elbow, and under, like, my chin and shit like that. But the thing is, I'm young right now. I could take that, and I know that's what I'm there for. I'm trying to play my part for my gym.
You're cannon fodder for those gentlemen.
No.
Is that a word you guys use? Cannon fodder.
Fodder? Fodder?
Fodder.
Yeah, fodder. Yeah, we don't say
Yeah.
cannon. It's more colloquial.
Oh, just fodder.
Just fodder. Yeah,
Okay.
like that's fodder. Like, you know what? You know what's good? Like we use fodder for like technique on Instagram nowadays is all fodder.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Technique on YouTube is all
Man,
fucking fodder.
You know
I
what
love
kills
it.
me? There's so many people with an Instagram page and have like a legitimate amount of followers, like white belts and dudes who don't really know any different, and they're watching some guy and he's like showing some shit, and I'm like, that's absolute rubbish. And you'll see him doing it in class. I'm like, I've spoken to my guys. I'm like, I'm not trying to bully you into like only listening to me, but only follow the proper guys. And most of the proper guys, they're not filling their page with shit because they want to keep it all for themselves. They don't want to just try and get some hits on Instagram.
Yeah. So
you know?
This is why my upbringing in jujitsu, I feel like, was very important, where I was taught at like the beginning of my jujitsu how to sift through real technique and troubleshoot technique, and then always like not be shy about bringing it to my higher belts who I trusted, like Rao or like, well, at the time it was Krishna. Krishna was really the one who taught me how to look at technique and then like question everything. So I think like it's fine he was like basically like, just understand that most of the shit online is bullshit and there are some gems online, but you have to understand that since most of the shit is bullshit, like you can't just be enamored with the technique because it looks cool or something. Yeah. Like you bring it to your upper belts, you try it out in class, and maybe it's a technique that just works for you. Maybe it's something that works for you and it doesn't work for everybody. Like you just stumbled upon some like gold or some shit. So I think the most important thing is like, instead of telling them like, yo, don't fucking go online and look, you teach them how to troubleshoot these techniques and like be like, yo, this is like, okay, the reason this technique is horrible is because of this and this, and like you learn how to see it, like especially if somebody's not giving like real reactions and they're just
you know what I call it? It's called corpse jutsu.
Wow.
Corpse jutsu.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention what schools are kind of known for corpse jutsu, but some of them like to do long chains of techniques.
Oh my god.
You know, again, I'm not mentioning any names, but corpse jutsu is like the dude underneath is just literally like a corpse flopping around, and they do like 15 different things, and I'm like, man, I don't even know that that's even ever any benefit. And you know, I've seen the best guys in the world like Jason Rao and Gordon Reinhold. I don't see them doing that.
No.
So I just
you get yelled at for that. I get chewed out if I'm spacing out for a moment, or like I'm just thinking about like, oh, I had a hard round. Like they'll be like, yo, wake the fuck up. Like, and I'll be like, oh, my bad. Like yo, like give me some knee pressure or something like that. And
because we're jiu-jitsu at a higher level starts to become about solving all these little problems. It's not so much like, oh, how do I stop my guy getting past? It's like if one of my color belts comes to me, he's like, how do I stop this guy passing my guard? I'm like,
rubbish question.
Well, what guard is it? What's he doing to you? And if they can't answer me, I'm like, go away. It comes back to me with something.
That's it. So that's just like exactly that is how Krishna taught me to see. Like he's like, yo, this is a game of inches. So if you're gonna come to me with a fucking problem, you have to tell me exactly what's going on and the minute details of why you're getting beat. And I think so in this day and age, we're in like the information age where literally everything is on the internet. I feel like all the answers are on the internet. But the thing is, people aren't learning how to ask the right questions. You don't know how to formulate the right questions. So how are you going to find the right answer?
Well, that's why you need strong mentors who you can go to if you need to help you with
anything,
that. And that's why people get caught up at these shitty schools where they don't have that. And they don't have it, and so they're like, oh, well, half my shit's from online and the rest of it's from this dude who doesn't even know what's going on. Yeah. And this kind of brought me back to something we were talking about before. These poor bastards put in the same amount of time that we put into training, but they're putting it in the wrong place. And it's like, if you're going to dedicate your time to jiu-jitsu, want to put it in somewhere where you're going to become really good.
Well, because
it's the same amount of time.
That like the culture, like you don't want to be a creonch. You don't want to fucking...
That's half of it. And the other, you know what the other half is? We like talked about in the car the other night. They don't know what they don't know. So they don't even know. They don't even know. They just know that their coach can beat them up. But that doesn't mean anything. Like anyone who's done any even like half decent blue belt should beat most people off the street, unless he's like completely small and completely fucking rubbish. So like your coach that's wearing that black belt might be at like a blue belt level, but he can beat you up, and then he never teaches you to really get better, so he can always beat you up, and people get caught, and it kind of annoys me because I'm an academy owner, and I see people charging people money for things that I'm like, you're just stealing from these people. You're stealing their time. You're stealing like literally time and dedication that they've come to you going, I trust you're the jiu-jitsu expert as such, you know. And that's why I keep saying you guys in New York are just killing it.
It's like, so again, like this is the information age. All of that is getting out. Like Reddit has people like policing them. Like jiu-jitsu is so interesting because there's like a balance of like, okay, there's people who can really fake it, but also jiu-jitsu is like, I feel like one of the few meritocracies in this world where if you say you're something, you have to prove it. Like it's
quite honest.
This is the most, like you can't really fake it. Like you can against people who don't know better.
That's right. You can fake it if you keep, it's kind of like, you know, when there's a cult and the dude starts being like, look, no one's allowed to go outside anymore, and you just got to listen to me. Now he's like isolated them, and they kind of have that thing. So you'll notice with a lot of these places that are rubbish, they don't go and compete, because if they compete, they get like, they're like, hey, coach, we lost every match today, and like we were totally terrible.
Everyone gets hurt.
Yeah.
Everyone loses.
Yeah.
And they think it's like a big deal to compete or something like that. Like you need to normalize it and show them like this is really how you test your jiu-jitsu, and it doesn't have to be so scary. I know a lot of my friends that like just started jiu-jitsu and they're competing. They make competition out to be like the scariest thing in the world, and I can understand that because the nerves, I don't feel like they ever really go away. Like it's something that you just have to be better at dealing with. So like for them to go through it in the beginning, dude, like it's like you need to normalize it and tell them like this is all a part of jiu-jitsu. Like if you really want to get good at jiu-jitsu and you don't want to just make this a hobby, you have to be comfortable with trying to compete and testing your experiments in a real setting, because at the end of the day, this is just training. Like, you know, like if like competition jiu-jitsu is a different muscle than training jiu-jitsu.
I say to the guys, even the guys that don't want to make it a big thing, it's like just testing yourself like that. Even just a white belt or blue belt or whatever, just going out there and doing that. None of them ever regret it. They go to me afterwards, oh, I was so nervous, but I feel like I made strides as a person here. There's something in me that's kind of changed. And I love seeing that in people. And even if they never compete again, I don't care. But if they've done it once and just experience what they can do for themselves, and that, because here's what I think with a lot of adults, right? We kind of get to school, and after school, and you're a big person, you go out and your own thing and do get a job, whatever. No one really ever pushes you again that you do anything that you actually, if you don't want to do something, you just don't do it. If you don't want to eat your vegetables, you don't do it. If you don't want to exercise, you don't do it. If you don't want to, but jiu-jitsu, we're like, here's this thing where their body's screaming, saying, this is scary, don't do it. And we're like, no, and you make yourself do it. There's this big overcoming of something, and I feel like that's the buzz people get. And I think that's a cool thing. Like it could just be some dude that, you know, is a businessman and he's just doing it part-time. I still think like having a competition and doing that's going to be cool for them as well.
It's something about like personal growth. Like that's why I started this shit at like I was 23. I just walked in. I didn't know what the fuck jiu-jitsu was. And then what ended up happening was like one of Matt Serra's black belts had a CrossFit gym. And I remember he told me he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but he also listed it with like other like martial arts, or like he was like, listen, I'm a black belt. Like it was mid-workout. He's like, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I'm a 3rd level Reiki master. And then I was like, what, you're going to rearrange my chi? Like that was my first interaction with jiu-jitsu. Like I thought it was just woo-woo, you know? And I used to think I was like a fucking tough guy. I was 23. I walked into Serra's because we had just moved like close to there and I needed something else to do. I'm in like a new neighborhood. I was never afraid to try new things. And I got choked out by a 14-year-old for 2 months straight. Yeah. Like he would just fuck me up. And I would be able to like pick him up and shit like that. But I would never be able to do anything.
You should have quit.
And I didn't. I fucking 3 months in, I started, I competed for the first time. 3 months in, I got triangled and I got kimura'd. And from then on, triangles and kimuras were my fucking move. Yeah. And like, it changed me, dude. Like, it's insane. Like, I've only competed in like video games like online. This
Oh,
was
really?
so
That was your, like, you hadn't done other sports?
Oh no, I've never done a sport. Like if you throw a ball at
What
me,
about, like,
I'll
soccer in
jam
Mexico?
all my fingers. No,
No?
yo, I
thought
actually
that's
did.
it, and you
I
hadn't-
did soccer in 4th grade. I was defense. I would just sit and like pull the grass, and like I'd get excited for the tangerines after the game.
Nice.
And I was just making jokes on the sideline. Like I was never athletic. I was never, but I was very competitive in video games, and I was never artistic, but now I'm creative because of jujitsu. So.
I love that story, because that's a common thing where people find this and they go, I never would have thought like that. Like, I'm not some dude who's, there's plenty of guys who aren't tough, like fighter type dudes. I don't even class myself as that. But
Me
then
neither,
you're doing
man.
this thing where you could literally beat 99.9% of the population to death if you wanted to.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's empowering, and
Yeah.
and like I can't stress how much this has helped my personal life, and like just making me a better person. So it's so character building. Martial arts, I didn't know what it was about until this is my life. I immersed myself completely, and I don't regret a fucking goddamn thing. Like I can't, like I would have never met you. I would have never had the experiences that I had, like, and I just feel like this does turn you into a better person, and it helps you find like a different, like something different in there, dude. Like there's so much.
I get it. I totally get it,
It's
man.
crazy. It gets, yeah.
Now, that's where if we just say martial arts, but like there's plenty of martial art places that are just fucking with people, like the bullshit pretend stuff. Like that
Yeah.
drives me crazy that we kind of get lumped in as the same thing. If
Yeah.
if you just talk to some soccer mum, it's all just martial arts.
They're like, oh, you do like karate?
Yeah, like-
and I'd say that, and I just like now when people fucking ask, like, oh, like, cause they look at my ears and they're like, oh, so you do like MMA? And I'm like, yeah, sure, yeah. Cause like
I'm
I mean,
a UFC fighter, basically.
Yeah, and all my friends will DM me and they'll be like, when are you going to the UFC? And I'm like, bro, like, one day. Like I don't even like try to argue. I'm like, yeah, maybe one day, but like.
You do know that they're telling other people, they're going, my buddy's a UFC champion.
Yes, 100%.
And they'll talk to someone one day who knows something. They'll be like, oh, who is he? And they'll be like, oh, well, you know, he's gonna. It's hilarious when you come across that. You know what? I feel like we're on borrowed time here, and I don't want to piss off the manager. So
Okay.
I feel like we should.
Hold
Maybe
on
we.
1 second.
I feel like we should wrap.
Yeah.
And then, but remember, I'm gonna do the Fourth Stringers podcast.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna like flow straight onto that next wave.
Hold on.
What do you want to talk about?
I think I had like a closing thing to say.
Because we could sit here. I think we could sit here and talk for
Forever.
we
dude.
talk for
yeah,
hours
yeah.
easy,
That was a lot of fun.
We could talk for hours easy.
What the fuck was I gonna say? I think closing statement for this, because you could just upload this shit, like, right? Like you're just gonna
So
post it. As
I'm
soon
not
as
training
possible?
tonight, so I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to my hotel room, and I'm gonna put it together. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, a common thing I usually ask at the end of my podcast is, like, if I'm interviewing somebody, is like, one, if you could go back in time and tell your white belt self like a piece of advice, like the most important piece of advice, what would it be? And
That's a
then
good question.
and like, yeah. And
Do you want me to ask you that question?
I want to ask you that
Oh, you want to ask
question.
me? You've turned.
And then
you've
can,
turned it on
You
me.
can ask me it too.
You're kind of
guess.
like, are you going to try
Yeah.
and take all the shit with you at the end? You're like, this
Yeah.
is Fourth Stringers.
Yeah,
That's
this
like
is
scribbled in
Fourth
text.
Stringers,
That's a really good question. Let me think. Because the problem is, you don't know what you don't know. That's such a
Okay.
true statement
Uh-huh.
for a white belt.
Uh-huh.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So you don't even, it's so hard to even ask because you just don't even know the question to ask because you don't know what you're doing wrong. White belt Luke. So white belt Luke was 18. So I'm 30. I turned 35 in March. And you're thinking, fuck, he looks good for 35.
You're halfway done. No.
If I didn't have a, that is kind of halfway done.
Yeah,
Assuming
yeah.
I make it to 70. If I didn't have a receding hairline, if I had a hat on, I think I look kind of young. If I don't squint because I got some squint line.
Here.
Look, how old? Oh, I can't do it with it. Like
Just
this.
move it down. Move the headphones.
I'm-
I want to see it.
I'm not up to date with your gang culture with your hats and stuff.
You look retarded,
How
dude.
old?
Take that fucking
25?
thing off.
I'm thinking like 25. Now I'm going to get syphilis or something from it.
Oh, there's the beep. Wow, great timing.
Yeah, I did good timing.
Okay.
What would I ask? What would I ask?
Yeah, yeah.
What would I tell White
What
Belt
would
Luke?
you tell White Belt Luke?
I would just tell him, to don't give up, because that's the problem. You don't know, like, who would have thought if white belt Luke would never have thought that I was feeding my family with this 15 years later.
Wow.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I would never, ever, ever have thought it, because I never wanted to run it. This was never the end game. It just kind of happened. And now,
awesome.
like, I couldn't be happier. Like, I couldn't be happier. So I would say that, don't give up. I know that sounds super, super cheesy, but everyone gives up. So many people give up.
So the common answer to this is knowing when you're injured and knowing when you're hurt.
You look, I'm not saying that's wrong, but if I had one thing to tell white belt Luke, or, the other thing I'd tell him, the lotto numbers. I'm going to fucking win the lotto, and then I wouldn't have to do any of this shit.
All right, let's close out with that. All right, thanks for having me, man.
You're a good man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
You're a legend.
Thanks.